Welcome, and in this video we're going to fit this Callaham bridge into my 1968 reissue Stratocaster. It's crafted in Japan, R007686. There you go. So I got this in 2005. It was my #1 guitar for a very long time. I've learned most of my guitar skills on this one. And just looking at the frets, they need to be done there. They're about pitted. Anyway, probably just a polish or a fret level. So, stay tuned. We're going to get this bridge installed. In the next video, we're going to do a full setup. I'll put a links in the description to where you can get the bridge, a Callaham bridge, and I'll also put links to my music. So if you're interested, you can have a listen. I use DistroKid as my distribution service, so if you follow the links, you can get 7% off if you want to join them to get your music online. And apart from that, like and subscribe. Right, enjoy. Welcome to this video. We're going to continue rebuilding this Stratocaster, and today we're going to fit this Callaham bridge. It's a tremolo unit from Callaham. Stainless steel unit, nice big thick block, cool tremolo arm. We've got all the bits here. So the kind of tools you're going to need are screwdrivers, probably some pliers to help with the springs, some microfibers and a brush to clean the area, and most importantly, a cup of coffee and some biscuits, because this whole job is super simple. Right, let's begin. So, here we have my White Stratocaster, and we're going to install this Callaham bridge. Right, so the first thing you need to do is we need to, well, clean the area. I suggest you can take, this is just a paintbrush, give the area a good clean because you want it to sit properly, especially in where the screws go in. So here there are 6 screw holes, and we're going to place this tremolo unit in very carefully. My Stratocaster's body is all scratched and scuffed anyway, so I've had this guitar for God knows how many years, since 2006, something like that, 5 or 6, so it's got a couple of dings on it. Right, now once this is on, what we want to do is we want to put the 2 outer screws in first, and we want to do it in such a way that the base plate of the tremolo unit just sits on top of the bridge. If you screw it in too much, the bridge will tend to move forwards. So let me just exaggerate. So when you put the 2 screws in, if you go too much, it actually does this. It'll do this on the body. So you want it so it's just flat and flush. So let's take 2 screws, and we'll take a screwdriver. I have a selection, and we'll just put the outer ones in first. So if you have an electric screwdriver, that's obviously a lot quicker, but I want to take my time and care with this. So when you get just about to where it moves and pivots, that's when you stop. So about there. And then we put this side in. Go. So it's good to put your hand on the back of the bridge here and move the screw until it's just about to lean forward, so it's moving just a tiny bit. So I need to turn back just a little bit, and there we go, it's flush, and the screw is just on the face of the base plate. There we go. So what you do with the other 4 screws is you put them in, you tighten them down again, and then you go back about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn. So it's actually the outer 2 screws that are doing most of the holding down. The other 4 is just to help brace it down. They're not doing a lot of the work when it comes to using the tremolo unit. So we'll get 1 in there, where you screw it in as much as you can, near to the end, hold the plate down, you'll just feel it tighten up on the plate and then come back there, just a little bit. And then do the same for the rest. So what I like to do is I like to alternate sides, just so it's even pressure. So we go down, and then when you're just about on the end, hold the back, get to the face, and then go back a little bit. Quarter to a half a turn. You'll know, it's all personal choice. The goal is to have this base plate flush to the bridge and not tipped forward like that. Yeah, it's nice and flat. And then all of the pivoting and the floatiness, if you want to call it, if you want to make it floating, is all controlled by the claw and the springs at the back, which you'll do during the setup. So we're near the end, hold the back to the face, I can feel it go snug, and I go back about a quarter of a turn. Right, last screw, and then we can turn the guitar over. So it's just about snug, go back a little bit. Right, so the tremolo can move forwards, but it's sat flush on the body. Right. Get rid of all the dust and bits so it sits properly. I have cleaned all these parts, but when you leave them in a bag for a little bit, they soon collect some dust, especially around the pickups. Right, good. Right. Now, if you're still with us, let's turn the guitar over and we'll work on the back of the bridge. So it's handy to have something down on your table so you don't scratch the face of your guitar, yeah? So, here is the same block. It moves backwards and forwards. So what you want to do is you want to hold it in place, like that. And now we're going to fit these springs. Okay, so it has a loop on one end. This will go onto the claw. So the claw is here, okay? So what I like to do, I like to have 3 springs on this guitar, 3 springs, and I like to have them all parallel in a line. You can have different designs. You can have them looking like a tree shape, like that. So there's a good bit. You can have them like that, or I just have them parallel, okay? And the loop goes on the claw, and then this bit on the end, this hook goes inside little holes on the back of the tremolo block, okay? So I found, to make this easier on myself and my fingers, to use some pliers, long nose, something like that. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna put the loop end in the claw, and then we grab the other end with the pliers and we just pull and we place it into the tremolo block. Right, let me get a better angle. So here we go. Here's another spring. I'll show you from this angle. So you put the loop in the claw, we'll do this side, and then using our pliers we'll take the hook side, once it's in, and all we do is pull and place it into the hole on the bridge. And you can push down. Oh, it's a bit tight. See, this is why I use pliers, so it doesn't get your fingers. Yeah, these are pretty sharp. Now these are Callaham springs, so these are stronger than the regular ones that came on the guitar. I actually broke the tremolo arm, so I had a chance to upgrade everything. So yeah, I chose to go for the Callaham because I read that's what David Gilmour uses and I'm a big fan. So the last spring, put that in there, we pull with the pliers and slot in, and there we go. What you want to do is, here's a little test. hit them and make sure they sound good. If they excessively ring, then maybe it might need tightening up, but that'll come with the setup. So what happens is if they don't ring very well, you can actually get resonance when you play. So when you hit a string or you do some bending, it can actually make the springs vibrate in the back. So you just need to make sure they're sat properly and it's tightened up good. So here are the screws for the claw. So to make this float, what you would do is you would loosen these two screws with a screwdriver, like this one. And then that would relieve tension in the spring. And then if you wanted to make it sit flush to the body, then you would just tighten these up. Yeah, but we're not, we're good. We'll wait till the setup. So, there we have it. There's the install of the Callaham bridge. Now, what it also comes with is a special tremolo arm. See, it's not threaded all the way. So inside the Callaham bridge, and this is why I love it, there's actually a rubber or plastic a collar inside. So when you move the tremolo arm, it isn't moving and flexing on the threads of the screw. If this was threaded all the way, you'd have a lot of weak points, and this is what happened to my old tremolo unit, because it was based on a 68 Stratocaster, and they even copied the silly angle that it goes in at. So even the block, it has the tremolo arm in at an angle, and it has all the threads. So eventually, after lots of use and heavy springs, it just snapped. So what Callaham do is they only thread it at the very tip, and then for the rest of the block, inside the block, is, like I said, a rubber collar. So when you use the tremolo arm, it's actually pushing on a rubber collar, not on the threads or metal. So I like that. So all you do is you push it in, spin it. There we go. And just to make sure everything's nice and neat and you did a good job, you just do that. You just make sure it feels good. It'll be a lot easier when you put strings on, but I'll save that for a setup video. So anyway, there we are, we're done. It's installed. Told you it was easy. Most importantly, get yourself a coffee, celebrate a job well done. Right, ciao for now.